Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Daily Race C Lap and Strategy Guide. If you appreciate our videos and find them helpful, please consider subscribing. This week's Daily C is at Watkins Glen Long Course in Group 3 with BOP for 10 laps on racing soft and racing hard tyres, with both tyres as mandatory, whereas 1 times fuel and 6 times tyre. We are using the Subaru BRZ Group 3 on soft tyres. I'll go around slowly to explain the track, then show the lap again but at full speed. We start off exiting the final corner in 4th gear, bringing the car over to the left hand side of the track, carrying as much speed as possible on the exit. Coming into the braking zone, you use this dark patch on the road, which is right next to the 200 meter board, as your braking point. Then as you come into the turn, using the Gran Turismo 7 sign on the left as your turn-in point, staying in 3rd gear through the apex, then up into 4th on the exit, staying to the left-hand side on the curb, keeping 2 wheels on the curb because otherwise you get a penalty. Using the orange square on the left-hand side as your turn-in point, stay flat all the way up through the S's, right on the apex on the right hand side, and then switch back to the left on the apex, back to the right again, bringing the car out to the left hand side of the track. I stay in 5th and rev the car right out. Your next braking point is the 300 meter board, then using the marshal's booth on the left just after it as your turn-in point. Dropping to 3rd or 4th gear depending on the car. Cutting the right side of the chicane next to the wall, then cutting the left side of the chicane, keeping 2 wheels on the track to avoid the penalty. Then the next part of the left side of the chicane, and then the right side of the chicane. Keeping 2 wheels on the track the way through there because you will get a penalty otherwise. And you need to try and bring the car across to the left, but not too far over, about here, so you can hook back to the right and aim to be right next to this path here. You'll need to brake just a little bit or lift a little bit to be able to bring the car back around, and then get back on the power just after the path, about here, bringing out wide on the left hand side, coming down the hill, using this grate on the right as your braking point, then the 100 meter board as your turn-in point. Drop to 3rd gear, or 2nd depending on the car, and back to 3rd. Exiting, bringing it out to the right hand side, and using the start of this skid mark on the road as your braking point, and then the Gran Turismo 7 sign as your turn-in point. Dropping to 2nd gear, then back to 3rd, exiting up the hill, carrying as much speed as possible out to the left hand side. The braking point for this is a little tricky. It's halfway between the 100 and 200 meter boards, which is here. In the race there is a guy that stands at this particular point and you can use him as your braking marker, but in qualifying there is not. So you kind of got to envision where it is, or brake a little early just to be safe. But then coming to use the 100 meter board as your turn-in point, dropping to 2nd, back to 3rd on the apex, over to the left hand side, coming down here, then you use the 100 meter board as your braking point, dropping briefly to 2nd, back to 3rd, right on the apex, bringing it out to the right, flat out, using the 100 meter board as your turn-in point. Brake just a touch or lift, but in some cars you can even almost do this corner flat. I think I brake just a touch through there. Bring out to the right, then using the sign on the left hand side outside the fence as your turn-in point and also braking point, or lifting point in this case. As you come through, dropping to 3rd, then back to 4th on the apex, bring it out to the left hand side, flat out, and across the line. Okay, now I'll try to take you through it at full speed. So exiting the final corner in 4th gear, flat out down the straight, down the left hand side, Using the black marker and the 200 meter board as your braking point, cut in tight to the apex, third gear, exiting out to the left hand side along the curb, using the square as your turn in point, around to the right, then back around to the left on the apex, and back around to the right again, following the curb on the right as your direction towards the left hand side, staying left, using the 300 meter board as your braking point, marshals with turn in point, fourth gear, cut, lifting or braking just a touch near the path, bring it back out to the left hand side, using the grate as your braking point, 100 meter board turn in point, third gear, cross to the right, skid mark braking point, Gran Turismo turn in point, second gear, then back to third, bring it across to the left on the way up the hill, flat out, braking halfway between the 200 and 100 meter boards, second or third gear, cutting tight to the apex, bring it out to the left, then back across to the right, 100 meter board brake, second, back to third, modulating throttle, not wheel spin, flat out, 100 meter turn in, little lift or a little brake, bring it out to the right, back across the left, sign outside the fence, third, back to fourth, through the corner, across to the left, and flat out down the straight, and that's it. Here are the strategy options. Starting near the front, go with 6 soft, then 4 hard. Starting mid to the back of the pack, go with 4 hard, then 6 soft. If you aren't good at managing tyres, go with a 5 soft, 5 hard strategy, reversing if you're starting mid-pack to the back. If you're good at tyre management, go with 3 hard and then 7 soft. And if you have alien pace here, go with 4 soft, 1 hard, 5 soft. If you run high sensitivity on your controller, you may want to turn it down a bit for the race to get a bit more life out of your tyres. I hope you guys found this guide helpful. If you enjoyed the video or have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Cheers.